Welcome everybody to the SOS podcast. I am your host, Michael Nishma. Today's date is 12/18/2020. It is a Friday afternoon as I'm recording this podcast. And I'm back here again with our other host, John Betts. Say hi, John.
Hello, hi. How are you doing, everybody?
So, today we have a pretty well-rounded schedule. We're going to be talking about some recent news that John has just got for us and the Felipe news.
Yeah, okay.
And we'll also be talking about some of the benefits and things that people that are unhoused right now can go use right now if they're seeking immediate help. There's some services they can use right now. So, without getting started, John, if you can please address the recent news, especially the Felipe thing that happened. If you want to address that, please.
Okay. Well, I'm in with some of the other advocates that with the Urge group that the one I'm involved with, and that we every once in a while we get to be in on a Zoom talk with the people from the housing department, who are the main people also kind of running the homeless services for homeless people. So then in the talk yesterday, then after a while, then they all of a sudden brought up, that there's an area called Felipe that has a whole lot of quite a camp, but it's all kind of just in this industrial area.
If I could pause you real quick, John. Yeah. John, and Amanda went over to the Felipe area over there, checked the encampment and everything, and they just recently, when we went there, they had the bathroom that just added that, right, after a lot of pushback.
Yeah.
And
then dumpsters finally after a long time.
And then we're hearing they're also kicking a lot of people out from there, right? Is that correct?
Well, they haven't done it yet, but now they're talking. That's what they were talking about on the Zoom call yesterday. That they will be bringing that about, but we don't know how soon. They built a tiny home site right around the corner from there, but then all along we know it's more of a rapid rehousing site, so it wasn't really targeted to place all those people in there. Now they're saying, because they're bringing up the sweep of the area, then they're saying, some of those people might get into those tiny homes. But the thing is, it's designed more along the rapid rehousing clientele. So I don't think very many of those people there would fit that criteria.
What does rapid rehousing mean?
Oh, that's like if you just only recently got unhoused, and maybe you have a job. That's sort of like more for people who kind of have a lot of other stuff still in place, but they just lost their housing. So it's not really for people who've been unhoused for a long time and don't have any income, So then now, them claiming that those people could get in there, it's pretty unlikely that they could.
Yeah.
So them just trying to, we knew that as soon as that tiny home thing got built, they'd be probably trying to use it as a smoke screen to make it seem like sort of the illusion that they housed the people in Felipe when they're really just going to give them the boot. So I do have now this is the number the whole time during this whole COVID thing. They've been saying, okay, well, during this whole COVID thing, then the big rules, the CCC guidelines, is, that's why they haven't been doing sweeps, because they've been told don't do sweeps, don't stir up the people in the unhoused community. If the only way they have to shelter in is in whatever camps or anything they managed to improvise for themselves, then this county and city are told don't go all of a sudden just harassing these people and sweeping them like they would always be doing before. So now, when the COVID thing is getting really high still, it didn't go away. So that doesn't mean all of a sudden they can forget all those COVID guidelines and start doing sweeps. But that's exactly what, in this conversation with this housing department yesterday, they start saying, oh well, we're told that pretty soon we should initiate the sweep of Felipe.
Do you know who said this?
And see, we don't specifically know, but she alluded to the mayor because she said, we said, oh well, who in the government do you think is responsible for trying to implement this? And she said, we said, who in the government do you think has a conscience? Uh, if they have a conscience, how then can they be starting to try to push this agenda? Then she said, oh well, how about the mayor? And we said, well, if he's trying to push this agenda, then I guess he doesn't have a conscience. And so let's give us a little rumor. He's probably him and some of the other city council people trying to kowtow to the NIMBYs again. And so we think anybody listening, if you can look up on the city's web page, and it says where you can send a message to any of those people you want to. It gives their phone numbers. It also gives a way you can send them an email directly. So give anybody who can, let's let them know you don't think that's okay to suddenly ignore the CVC guidelines and try to implement sweeps. Then there's another area they're talking about sweeping too, which has a major population of people.
Just to add I want to add one more thing, John, to that. Just going to Felipe, seeing all the people that are there, that are unhoused, and they just seeing that some of them believe that tiny homes over there were being built for them to help them out, and to think that these people who have been unhoused in these very unfortunate situations, especially with COVID going on right now, and a lot more. The number of unhoused is getting bigger and bigger, especially because of COVID. Just see those that had the hope, whatever hope they had, get crushed, and now they're getting kicked out on the only spots they know. It's very disheartening, and it's very inhumane, and it's if you can please email them. I'm saying we have the power to stop this. If we all go out, email these people in power, the mayor, who else? The city council
and the housing department.
100%. Email these people. If you can go to the website too.
Project Beautify, which is part of the housing department, going around, and generally they've been trying to be cool, not sweeping people, but now
They are
all of a sudden trying to inch towards that. And then the other place is the whole area of Spring Street and heading over there, that big Guadalupe Park area. Now there's rumors that the FHA is trying to clamp down on that because they have this rule that nothing's supposed to be there in case some airplane would have to crash land there sometime.
What the?
Which is like, well, there are businesses there, and no one's telling the businesses they have to go away.
Yeah.
So why should they? All of a sudden, so that's another threat to those people over there, all the unhoused people there.
What's the website where they can email these people? The.
Well, it's just you can look at the San Jose City Council has if you just Google that, you can find their kind of San Jose web page.
The name of the mayor and the name of the person?
Mayor Liccardo. That's the name of the mayor.
Hmm?
I don't know the names of too many of the council people, but you could also, the city manager, he has a lot of power too. So you could also, people don't know that, but he really has a lot of power as well. So people could also call it the city manager.
So
I know the names of a couple of us for the house.
So I'm looking it up right now. These city council members. We got Mayor Sam Liccardo, Sergio Jaimes, Landeep, Raul Perez, Mangela Carrasco, Devara Dev Davis, Sylvia Arias, all the district council members right now. They have their number, emails. I urge all of our listeners to please reach out to them and speak on these services, all this stuff that they're not adhering to or they're not following through on, especially, and not to stop this inhumane sweeps that are going on in the unhoused community.
Good, thanks for putting that out.
Yeah. It's on the sanjoseca.gov. That's the website, and you go to your government and you can see all the mayors and city council members.
Right, and then the other people you can also feed back to is the county people too. So the county has a whole different other website. Board of Supervisors, yeah, don't you forget them, the kind of top dogs of the county. So all the Board of Supervisors, and you can look that up and give all them feedback too.
Awesome.
Okay.
So next on the agenda is some of these, with all the hard times going on in COVID for all of our listeners, and people for the listeners that know people that are unhoused. I wanted to take time to bring up the services that they can use right now that are available for the unhoused community, just to at least help them out if they're in dire situations, or if they just didn't know about some of these services because they just have access to internet, or they have access to just information in general. I also want to be able to help those people out, at least give them something instead of nothing where they're at right now. So John, take it away. I know you have some of these services that are available. So,
well, one thing is, I don't have the number right in front of me, but the Office of Supportive Housing is mainly been in charge of all this. And then
what's it called? I'll go to the
Office of Supportive Housing.
Office of Supportive Housing.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then right now, they're kind of co-running this thing called the COVID hotline, or the placement hotline, which that is one main phone number people can call up and try to find out about services, which is, do you want me to give the number?
Yeah, go ahead.
408-278-6420. That's the placement hotline. But the people who answer the phones aren't necessarily the most knowledgeable. You have to bear that in mind, and you might have to call back more than once to get the information you want.
But what services does this number offer?
Well, see, it's supposed to be how you might see if you qualify to get into one of the hotels or one of the shelters, you know. So it's supposed to be for that. And then, so sometimes...
So for the audience that don't know, what are these hotels and shelters?
Okay, well, they right now they're only running about one shelter, which is the main one called South Hall, which holds about 300 people. And that's down on 2nd Street in downtown San Jose.
Mm-hmm.
But there also is a shelter over at the fairgrounds, which nobody knows anything much about. I think it's called the Plaza.
We saw that, right, when you went there?
Yeah, and so we know some people are in there. Now, here and there you hear some other shelters, like there's another one called Little Orchard, so people can also try to find out if they have any vacancy. But you can ask about this through this one main phone number. And then, other than that, there's also the Social Services Department, the County Social Services Department, which its main one is over on Center Street, spelled with an S. And that's right down near Happy Hollow. Just before you get to down where Happy Hollow is, it's like you go down Story Road and then you turn right onto Center Road when you're right down across from the jungle, if you know where the jungle is. But that's basically Story, just as it's
the exact address is 1870 Center Road. They close at 5 p.m. It's Monday through Saturday. That's when the business hours are. The number is 408-758-4100. And exactly, again, the address is 1870 Center Road. So if you want to speak on to the services they provide.
Yeah, and they can, for one thing, you know, they can get, if they don't have any income, they can get general assistance, which then at least gives you $150 a month. And they also can sign up for food stamps there too. And what some people don't know, general assistance, if you could find anywhere a room for rent or something for about $225 or $250, it'll actually pay up to $300 for housing.
Oh, really?
But they don't tell you that. But the problem is, if you went for the whole amount, then you probably wouldn't have any money left for any of your expenses. But they would pay out, like if you paid out about, if you got something more, somewhere someone let you rent a room for about $200 or something, it would let you get still about $100 or so cash as well.
Oh, it's pretty expensive, or like water and stuff like that. That's pretty.
Yeah.
Pretty neat. At least something very helpful for some people out
If
there
you could find it. What the trouble is, it's hard to find anywhere that'll let you rent anything that cheap.
in this area. Yeah.
But you could at least give it a try.
Give them look. Give them a chance.
Yeah.
Give them a chance. 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I know a couple people that are having hard times, and they're using food stamps. And I know a lot of areas right now, a lot of places, they're opening up more and more where you use food stamps. I mean, Safeway,
Yeah.
Lucky, Costco even has food stamps. They're allowing that. Burger King, Taco Bell, Jack in the Box,
Right.
even the fast
And
food
nowadays,
restaurants.
it's just on a card,
Yeah,
so you don't have the embarrassment. In the old days, you had to be tearing these things out of a little booklet and stuff. Nowadays, it doesn't. They don't. You
Looks
don't
like
have
a
to be
credit
all
card, yeah.
embarrassed. Oh, that person's on food stamps and stuff. So it is a lot better nowadays.
Yeah.
So anyway, other than that, then there is like the place called Sacred Heart. It has
SOS.
a food pantry, so people can go there and sign up to be able to drop in. You'd have I'm not sure how often you can go, but then you can get a pretty big bunch of groceries and stuff for free. And even perhaps you might be able to get in on some of the stuff they give out when it's a holiday, other things, little bonuses or gift cards and things. And
Yeah, right
they
now.
also have a clothing closet there, so people can go there and get some free clothes.
I know for Christmas, I don't know what the availability right now, but talking to Tuan, who's the head of SOS, who runs SOS, Tuan, and he was telling me that right now for Christmas, that potentially if you call in, there's an opportunity to where you can get a $15 gift card for if you have kids or anything, you can get toys with for Christmas, which is really awesome. Especially during these tough times, $15 you can get some nice toys with that. So.
And then I guess there's also that number, that 211 number, people can call up and ask about any services you're trying to find. You can ask about, like food pantries or closets.
Do you know the address of Sacred Heart?
Not right now, but it's basically at the corner of Alma and Monterey. Yeah. So it's first, and then first becomes Monterey. So it's just about when it started calling
Sacred Heart,
Monterey, but it's basically
First
the same
Street?
thing. Yeah.
Is it First Street? Is it 1381 First Street?
Yeah.
It's South San Jose. It's a Sacred Heart
Yeah.
community service.
Yeah, I think they close about 4 of those. So you have to be prepared to get there somewhat sooner.
Yeah, they close. The hours are Monday through Thursday, 9 to 4 p.m.
Yeah.
It's on 1381 South First Street. Number is 408-278-2161. We're part of SOS too. Me and John are part of SOS.
Which is under the umbrella of Sacred Heart.
It's a subdivision of Sacred Heart. Tuan is the main head leader of this, and we're members of this club. If you want to join it, feel free. We have a Facebook page, Twitter page. Saw that Sacred Heart too. We have a Facebook page, Twitter page. Reach out on there. SOS NorCal. We have a website too, sosnorcal.org. It's still a lot of posts going on, a lot of helpful information that's going on in the unhoused community. I know me and John are posting videos weekly about updates and stuff that's going on. Where you can also see our beautiful faces there, just so you get a face to the voice, So
That's right. And the other thing is, people may not know about, there's that St. Vincent de Paul, which you could call up 211 if you didn't know what their phone number was, or you could Google it if you can. So some of the St. Vincent de Paul, they're situated all over in different locations, but they'll have some here and there. They run thrift stores, but the other thing they do is you can call up and say something you're having a problem with, or you're in need of getting some money or some other kind of help, and they actually they'll make an appointment and meet with you, and then pretty often they will give you a check, or they'll pay a bill for you or something like that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
What's it called?
It's called St. Vincent de Paul.
Let me look up right now and get the number for that. What, St. Vincent de Paul. And this is, what area is this in?
Oh, they're all over. So they're all over. So I mean, there's several and you could call it whatever number you can find of them and find out which ones are the ones in charge of giving out stuff.
So the St. Vincent de Paul, there's one on Monterey. Number for that one is 408-362-9958. That is 408-362-9958. And
is that in San Jose?
Yeah, the Monterey Road.
Oh yeah, okay.
So, they got assistance here. Perfect. Emergency services and financial aid. That's really awesome.
Yeah. Oh, good. I'm glad to tell people about that. Yeah.
I did not know about that.
Yeah. Plus, I heard another thing. One person had an RV, and then it's caught on fire.
Jesus.
And blew up.
Oh God.
So luckily he wasn't hurt, but some people were able to tell him that the Red Cross, if you tell them that something like that happened to you, they'll actually pay you a chunk of money to try and get something else. So this guy, he got to get $400 from the Red Cross.
Oh, that's awesome.
So he was able to go buy some other little kind of a car, to have some kind of shelter.
That's awesome. Yeah.
So I hadn't known about that either, but I heard about
at least something out of it.
Yeah.
It's a pretty much situation. At least get something out of it. It's pretty awesome.
And so there are other charitable groups too, but I don't know. But there is also the organization called CSA, Community Service Agency, and they're in every community they have them. So Sacred Heart is actually affiliated with CSA also. So they kind of also function as a CSA location.
Oh, CSA Mountain View. There's one in Mountain View, right?
Yeah, so they have it in Mountain View, they have it in Sunnyvale, and so all of them have food pantries. People you just go sign up, and then you can get to drop in every few days and get groceries, and plus they can give you guidance to other assistance or leads on other sorts of stuff. Like you can get they have this thing called the Viaspadat, and if they have caseworkers. You can get signed up to have a caseworker, and then that person can help you find out about more what services might be available. Now another word is they're saying that they're opening up the Section 8 lists again finally here in Silicon Valley, which has the list's been closed for many years, but that's then the people who get, if you win, it's kind of like a lottery in a way, but you just find out where to sign up, and then tell them all your info, and some people just luck out, and all of a sudden they have free housing for the rest of their life. And after the first year or so, you can move it to any other place you want, even if you want to. So now they finally reopened it. So now
Awesome.
They're saying, finally they'll be going through the list, where for several years around here they hadn't even been ever calling anybody because it was so backlogged. Now they're going to start going through the existing list and letting new people also get on the list. So that's another thing. So
let me just to read a number off for that place. This is the Community Service Agency in Mountain View. The number for this one is 650-968-0836. If you want all the services that John explained for the Community Service Agency, make sure to reach out to them. They close at 4 p.m. They're open Monday through Thursday from 9 to 12, and they have a little lunch, then from 1:30 to 4 p.m. That's how you can get a hold of them.
Yeah, and then there's a Sunnyvale one, and I'm sure that all the other communities have it too. But for San Jose, Sacred Heart is the CSA location also.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, glad to get to tell people about that. Plus, I imagine if you look around, there will be some of these churches and things when it's Christmas time will put on some kind of free
food. Yeah, definitely.
Food give out.
Yeah,
So
make sure to check with your local churches, especially. I mentioned during Christmas they're more in the giving mood, so they give a lot of food and stuff. So
you can call up the 211 number if you're not finding anything, and they can give you some directions too.
And yeah, so we've brought up a lot of great services we can use and some recent updates, and I appreciate your time today, John.
Okay.
I feel like this is a very productive podcast today, and again, remember everybody, message the city council members, make a push, because again,
right,
with us, the people, we have the power, but we have to use it.
And remember, if we don't want the only piece of the if they don't hear from any of us, and that's all they ever hear is from the "not in my backyard" crowd, that's going to make keep getting worse.
Exactly. So we make sure our voices are heard.
Yeah.
Everybody have a great day, and till next time.
Thank you.